Welcome back to Stitching with Samantha. Today I'm going to be walking you through how to make my bear handprint hoop. I went to Arkansas and I got a little handprint from my godson specifically for this project, and I'm so excited to make this keepsake for him and walk you through this fun craft you can make for little boys in your life. I'm a girl mom. I have one daughter and one more on the way, so I made sure to get extra handprints for more designs in the future. For this project, you're first going to want an acrylic paint. These are two that I recommend, FolkArt and Liquid-X. I'm using the FolkArt Whicker White for this project. Next, you're going to need some DMC embroidery threads. I have all of the colors listed here, and I will go ahead and put them on the screen. I'm not going to say them all. You are also going to need a heat erasable pen to trace the pattern on top of your handprint. And then you're going to need an embroidery needle. I recommend size 5. I love DMC embroidery needles. And lastly, you're going to need a pattern. This is from my Etsy shop, Stitching with Samantha. This is the printed version, so you can have it printed and mailed to you, or you can have the digital version and print yourself at home on this water-soluble stabilizer. I have it linked in my Amazon, and it'll be in the description of this video. If you have me send the pattern to you, you can skip this step, but if you're printing it out, you want to go ahead and cut it all out. After our handprint is completely dry, we are going to take our pattern off of the backing, and we're going to place it over our handprint. Then we're going to trace around it with our heat erasable pen. Then we're actually going to peel the pattern off and stick it back on the backing. That way it's easier to cut it out. Then you're going to cut around the handprint and make sure you get as close as possible. And then we're then going to take it off the backing once more and place it on top of our handprint and just make sure that it lines up nicely. And now I haven't shown this step in previous handprint videos, but I'm going to show you a little hack here. If there is a portion of your handprint that you're just not loving, you can cut it out and actually take the excess pattern and stick it on the handprint wherever you'd like. Then after that, we're going to take off our name and stick it at the top. Now I'm going to be showing you how to prep your needle and thread. I'm starting with 890, the dark green color. I'm going to be doing the trees first. You're going to pull your thread out from the number side, and we're going to take about an arm's length. We're going to cut it, and then every strand of thread comes with 6 strands. We're going to be using 3 strands for most of the pattern today, except for the name, we'll use 6 strands. So we're going to take our size 5 needle. We're going to take the 3 strands through the eye of the needle, and then it's going to hang down about 1/4 of the way, and then on the longer strand we are going to tie a knot. You can tie a knot like normal. I'm just showing you the way that I normally do it. I take it and wrap it around my fingers, and then I will curl my fingers and pull it tight so that the knot is at the end. So I'm showing you that one more time here, but once again, you can just tie it like normal. This is just how I learned when I first started embroidery, so I show every time. Alright, so it's time to start stitching. We're going to be using back stitch first for the trunk of the trees. So I'm bringing my needle up at the very bottom of the trunk, and then about 1/4 of a centimeter, I'm going to bring my needle back down through the fabric. You're going to go ahead and pull your needle and thread all the way so that it's taut. After that, we're going to bring our needle up another 1/4 of a centimeter, and we're going to bring our needle up through the fabric and pull our thread completely up all the way. And then from there, we're going to go back to our previous stitch, and through the exact same hole that we ended that first stitch on, we're going to bring our needle down. So this is why it's called back stitch, because every time you're going to skip forward and then bring your needle back down to your previous stitch. And then you're going to pull tight. So once again, we're going to do that again. We're going to skip forward 1/4 of a centimeter, and then in the same hole as the end of our last stitch, we're going to bring our needle back down. There's going to be no gaps in back stitch. So I'm going to go ahead and finish my back stitches, working the way all the way up the tree. Then we're going to do straight stitches for the branches. So at the end of the branch, we're going to bring our needle up, and then at the very tip top of the tree, we're going to bring our needle back down and then pull tight. And then we're going to do the exact same thing on the other side. We're always going to start at the end of the branch and then bring our needle back down to the trunk, which at the top, it's going to be that tippy top point. Then we're going to skip down and do the same thing each time, bringing it to the trunk of the tree. And we're just going to do a straight stitch for every single branch of the tree. And then after we finish these trees, you don't have to tie off your needle and thread. Go ahead and go around the entire handprint doing all the trees, and then we're going to move on to the leaves. And then for the leaves, I actually use the same color, so you can go ahead and keep the same needle and thread if you have some left, and we can start on the leaf. For leaf stitch, you're going to come up at the top point of the leaf, and we're going to bring our needle down in the middle of the leaf, kind of towards the top of that middle line. We're going to pull our thread tight, and then we're going to bring our needle up a little ways down, just a little bit, to the right of our previous stitch at the top. And then we're going to bring our needle back down right underneath our last stitch in the middle, and we're going to pull tight. After that, we're going to move on to the other side of the leaf, and same thing, right below our top stitch, we're going to bring our needle up and then back down at the same point of our last stitch. And then you're going to do the same thing, alternating each time. Bring your needle up and then back down in the middle underneath your previous line of stitches, and you're just going to alternate that each time, and it's going to make this fun leaf pattern. So if you need to, watch that part again, but we're going to be using leaf stitch a lot, so this is an important stitch to learn and have under your belt. Then to finish our leaf, we're going to do one small straight stitch. So at the end of the stem, we're going to come up, and then we're going to take our needle back down at the base of the leaf, and we're going to pull our needle and thread tight. That's going to be one single straight stitch just for that stem of that leaf. I did start with 1 arm's length of thread, and I still have plenty, so I'm going to go ahead and finish all of the little single leaves, and then I'm going to show you how to tie off our thread. When you run out of thread or you're ready to switch colors, you're going to bring your needle underneath your previous stitches first, and then you're going to do it again, but this time you're going to bring your needle through the loop before pulling tight, and then you're going to pull it tight into a knot. You can repeat this or do it once. Either way, it's pretty secure, and then bring your needle underneath one more time, and then we're going to cut it. I'm now going to take my green off of my needle and put brown on, and I'm going to be doing 3 strands for every piece of the handprint except for the name. For our bears, we're going to be starting with satin stitch. However, I have a hack that I always use for satin stitch, which is doing a back stitch border before my satin stitch. So for the largest round circle of the bear's head, we are going to first outline the circle in back stitch. So we went over this stitch earlier. You're just going to bring your needle up about 1/4 of a centimeter and then back down to your previous stitch. With the same brown color, we're going to do the ears and back stitch as well. Make sure to do about 1/4 of a centimeter for each back stitch and try to keep your stitches even the entire time. Now we're actually going to switch to our beige color, and we're going to do the exact same thing for the middle circle of the bear for the mouth and nose. We're going to line it in back stitch, and then we're going to start our satin stitch. Towards the middle, I'm going to bring my needle up on one side of the back stitch, and then on the other side, I'm going to bring my needle back down. Then I'm going to bring my needle up right on top of where I started my last stitch, and actually this time I'm going to go underneath the nose. So I'm going to work my satin stitches around the nose so that we see where it is so that we can fill it in later. So I'm going to go on the other side, and I'm going to do the exact same thing, bring my needle down underneath the nose. Then on the side of the nose, I'm going to make small satin stitches, and then once we're on the top, we can do it across the whole kind of middle section again. And then as you work your way up, you're going to make your stitches smaller and smaller, finishing out that line of satin stitches. We're then going to skip to the bottom and fill in the rest of that middle circle. As you can see, it's all filled in with nice satin stitches, but we left a space for the nose. We're going to do a similar process for the head of the bear. I'm going to bring my needle up and then bring it back down right at the edge of that inner circle. So I'm going to pull my thread tight, and then I'm going to bring my needle back up right below my previous stitch, and I'm going to just keep doing the same thing, these straight stitches that will end up having the satin-like finish as you work your way around that inner circle. Once we get back up to the eyes, I'm actually using long and short stitch. So I'm going to bring my needle back down right before the eye, and then on the other side I'm going to put a little stitch in between the eyes, and then same thing on the other side of the eyes, I'm going to stop right before the eye. That way we can see where the eyes are and we can place the stitches where we need to. Then I'm going to do a series of long and short stitches to fill in the top of the head there. For the ears, we're going back to classic satin stitch, but just make sure that it goes in the same direction as the head so that everything looks uniform. So I'm just gonna go straight across here, and I'm gonna place satin stitches on top of each other. As they get to the top of the ear and the bottom of the ear, your satin stitches will get smaller. You're just going to work your way through the outline of the ear. I'm going to go ahead and skip forward, do my satin stitches on the other side, and then we're going to do the details with our black thread, which is 310. For the eyes of the bear, we're going to be using French knot, bringing our needle and thread up, pulling it tight. Then we're going to wrap it around our needle 2 times, and then we're going to stick it back down in the hole. With our left hand, hold the thread tight, and then we're going to pull it towards the back, and still holding it tight with our left hand as we pull it taut. I'm going to show that process one more time. Bring your needle up, wrap it around 2 times, put it back down in the fabric. With your left fingers, hold it tight, and then pull it through. For the nose, we're going to be doing some straight stitches. First, I'm going to make a straight stitch for the width of the nose, bringing my needle up on the right, and then back down on the left. I'm going to pull my thread tight into that straight stitch, and then towards the middle of the nose, a little bit lower, I'm going to bring my needle back up, and then I'm going to bring my needle down on one of the sides of the nose. And this is just trying to make a little triangle for the nose so it looks more like a bear. So on the other side, I'm going to do the same thing, bringing my needle up in the middle, and then bringing it back down at the other side of the nose. And then that kind of gives it that triangle shape. The hard part is over. We're going to finish our bears, and we're going to move on to the suns. We're going to tie off our thread, and we're going to move on to our yellow thread, and we're going to do a satin stitch for the middle circle of the sun, doing a back stitch outline first, and then we're going to place our satin stitches on top of each other, filling in the entirety of the circle. Remember, as our circle gets smaller at the ends, we're going to make smaller satin stitches to finish it out. And then for each ray of the sun, we're going to do a straight stitch, bringing our needle up at the end of the ray and then back down at our circle. So we're going to do that for each ray of the sun, just doing a small straight stitch for each one. Now we're going to switch out our yarn for 3053, and we're going to do our cluster leaves. So once again, these are stitches that we did earlier in the video. We're going to do leaf stitch for each leaf on this pattern. So remember, each time you're going to bring your needle up at the top and then back down below your previous stitch, and you're going to make that leaf-like look. So we're going to do it for every single leaf on the pattern, and then once all the leaves are in place, we're going to do a back stitch for the stem. So I'm going to do 3 different back stitches to fill in the entirety of the stem. So about 1/4 of an inch, we're going to make a straight stitch, then we're going to skip ahead another 1/4 of an inch in the middle of the leaf, bringing our needle up, then taking it down into a back stitch, and then 1 more back stitch to fill in the rest of the stem. We're going to finish stitching all the leaves around the handprint. Yes, you can see some sections are pretty tiny. You'll just do that beginning of a leaf stitch to fill in those little details. Lastly, we're going to take our white yarn, and we're actually going to use all 6 strands, and we're going to stitch our words. We're going to bring our needle up on either corner of our first letter, and we're going to do back stitch for all of the letters. So we're going to bring our needle down about 1/4 of a centimeter, pulling it tight, then skip ahead another 1/4 of a centimeter, and then bring it down to the end of our previous stitch. So we talked about this stitch earlier a few different times, so you should get the hang of it, but if you need to, you can go back and watch those tutorials, and that's how we're going to fill in each letter. When you get to a corner, you're just going to bring your needle up on the other side and then bring it back down to make that corner. From there, you can continue your back stitch in the new direction. We are not doing a satin stitch over this back stitch. Obviously, it's the words, so make sure that every stitch has the same length so that everything looks uniform with the name. For the dot in between the name and the year, we're going to do a French knot. So I'm going to bring my needle up, I'm going to wrap it around my needle 2 times, bring my needle back down into the fabric, holding it tight with my left hand, and then pull it tight. And then you're just going to go straight back to the date, and we're going to start our back stitch again. When you're done with your words, we're going to tie off our thread. And I showed you how to do this earlier, but I'm going to show you one other way you can tie off your thread. So with this way, you're going to take your needle off of the thread, and we're actually going to split our thread in 2. and then just tie those two sides into a knot. I like to do this for the words because it's really close to the top of the hoop and it's kind of hard to do the other way that I tie off. So this is just an alternate way. If you like this one better, you could always do this way. It is now time to wash off our stabilizer, and then after that we'll back our hoop. So washing off stabilizer is really important. For this one, you're just going to put it under running water for about 3 to 5 minutes. And normally with stabilizer, I like to use soap, and honestly you could use soap with this. It will not affect the acrylic paint. However, I feel like it's kind of fine without soap for this project. It comes off pretty easy when you're using stabilizer on a hoop versus clothing. So you're just going to rinse it for 3 to 5 minutes. As you can see, it's starting to break down. So just work your fingers into all of your stitching and make sure that all the stabilizer gets out from underneath your stitches. Once everything is washed off, we are going to air dry our hoop, and once it's dry, I'm going to show you how to back our hoop. I'm super pregnant right now, so including my little baby bump. To back our hoop, we are first going to take our hoop off of our fabric, and we are going to find a fun patterned fabric to put on the back. This is not a necessary step. You can leave your stitching open. I just find it fun to put a little patterned fabric on the back, and it provides this nice clean finish. So I'm going to go ahead and screw my hoop back tight, and then as you can see, you can kind of see some wrinkles. Just go ahead and pull your fabric tight in the hoop as you're screwing your hoop, and this provides just extra stability. Then we're going to cut our fabric about 2 inches from the hoop in a circle. And once the fabric is trimmed, we're going to take 6 strands of thread, and we're going to thread our needle, tie a knot like normal, and then I'm going to show you how to do running stitch along the perimeter of the hoop. Through the middle of the hoop, we're going to bring our needle and thread to the outside of the fabric, and then we're going to do running stitch. You're going to bring your needle down and then back up, still on the surface of the fabric, and then we're going to pull tight. So we're going to do this again, skip forward a small distance, and then bring your needle back down, up, and then we're going to pull it tight again. You're going to keep doing running stitch around the entire hoop, and then once you get back to your starting point, we are going to pull all of our stitches tight. You are then going to bring your needle and thread to the middle of the hoop again, and then we're going to tie it into a knot. Repeat that one more time, and then you're done. You should now have a beautiful bear handprint keepsake for the little boy in your life. I think this is just such a cute and fun design for little boys, and I'm glad I could bring this to my shop. I hope you had fun with me, and until next time, Stitchers.